Hello friends, today I'm making my first doll of spooky season. We're starting a little bit early this year because I've missed last year. I'm going to be making Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Before we get started, please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, all those YouTube goodies that really help me out in the algorithm. Thanks in advance. I started making this doll and her partner over 3 years ago now, so I've lost some of the footage. I don't have the prep and I don't have her hair. We're going to jump in with the face up. I decided to use a Laguna for my base doll, and I chose this bright blue Laguna because I'd seen some illustrations of Sally with really saturated colours and I thought it was quite interesting. You usually see her quite pale. She's had a reroute with hair from the Doll Hair Emporium. I want to say that the colour is Fire, something like that. It's a really bright red, really beautiful. And I used the full length so that it's all the way to her ankles, and I'm going to leave it super long on her. Years and years ago, I was talking to Doll Creations, and she said that she was going to make some dolls inspired by No Flutter's illustrations of Jack and Sally, and I saw them and I thought they were adorable, so I wanted to do a Lolita couple of Jack and Sally. I thought it would be really interesting. So they're not quite inspired by No Flutter. No Flutter's a kind of sexier, but I wanted to go a bit more traditional Lolita. Lolita fashion is very conservative. Japanese fashion in general is very conservative. I didn't go all the way to the knee with the clothes on this because I just think it makes the dresses look bigger than they are and look less childlike and innocent. With this doll, I'm aiming a bit more Sweet Lolita. Well, I was aiming Sweet Lolita. I think it came out a bit Clown Lolita. I'm not mad at it. I think it's just because of all the different colours that I used, really. And with her pair, I wanted to go a bit more military Lolita. We see a lot of Sweet Lolita in dolls. I did even think about going classic Lolita, actually. Oh, anyway, this is probably far too in depth for most casual doll viewers. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that meant anything to you. I put this face up off for a long time. I tend to put face ups off. I know a lot of people find this the most satisfying part of doing dolls, and I enjoy it when I'm doing it, but I build it up in my head so much. The first face up I did on this doll, I had to completely wipe off. I was going for kind of an innocent look and it just looked really goofy. So this one is a little bit more cheeky, I don't know. But yeah, I'd done turn inward eyebrows and it just looked odd. I struggled to build up some of the opacity, of course. With a dark skinned doll this always happens. So I ended up putting white beneath anything that I wanted to show up. So where I've drawn the water lines, I did that first in pink and then went over it again in white and kind of went back and forth on the white and the pink. And here where I'm adding the pink for the blushing, it's going to have a bit of red over it anyway. It just wasn't showing up in the way that I wanted it to. I don't think my dolls with a side look turn out that well, to be honest. You have to let me know what you think. I almost always do my dolls looking straight forward. I have a couple looking to the side, but not many. I wanted to do a bit of variation, and I'm going to have her partner doll looking back at her as well, I think. I thought that would be kind of cute. And I'm pushing myself away from a bitten lip look. Woohoo, are you proud of me? I did contemplate doing a bitten lip look, and you can see me kind of drawing it in at first and then changing my mind. On the first face up I did on this doll, the one that I wiped off, I wanted to add texture to her skin a bit like I did with Ivy, but because she's got those scars on her face, it all just looked too busy and it just muddied the whole thing. I ended up adding some veining, but not much at all, just because those scars are such a bold look on her face. I struggled a bit to get her to have that kind of soft smile that I like as well. I didn't want to add too much of the dark blue because I don't want her skin tone to go any darker than it already is. I already think she's quite deep in colour for a Sally. I think this was one of the issues with the first doll I did. I didn't do enough contouring and highlighting. and that's something that I tend to do quite a lot of on my dolls. I started off sketching the eyes in brown, and then I'm going back in with black. She's going to have black eyes because Sally has those massive eye whites, but just quite small irises. I tried to do that on the last face up and I didn't like how it looked, so went back to this. I'm keeping her Laguna features, like her fishy ears and her fishy skin, flappy flaps, her fins on her arms, and the ones on her legs were already gone. I think I struggle a little bit with Laguna's sculpt. I was working on another Laguna that I promised a very long time ago. I promised to do a giveaway at 5k, which was a couple of years ago now. We all know I've had my issues with dolls and had to take some time away. But yeah, because now I'm nearly at 10k. Thank you very much. Always humbled that there's so many of you that care about my work and want to see what I'm doing. I wasn't sure whether I would hit 10k subscribers this month or within this year, so I decided that at the beginning of next year I'll be doing that 10k giveaway. So make sure you subscribe and keep notifications on so that you know when that's going to happen. I post a bit on my community tab about it. There's already been a post with the face up. That was the second face up as well. I had to take that one off and redo it because I didn't like how that one looked either. Again, a Laguna. I guess Lagunas I'm just not great at. She's got really quite distinct features actually. I wonder if that's what it is. But yeah, so Ameona will be coming up in the new year. So I didn't do a Halloween doll last year because I was taking time away. So this year we're going to do double Halloween. I used to do lots and lots of layers on my dolls, and recently I've been doing fewer, which makes the whole process faster. I think possibly because I have more confidence in taking small parts off. Or I go bold, I don't know, just a bit of a change in approach. I really liked how the scars came out actually and the stitching. And I feel like I quite like how I do deep black eyes now. I guess that's probably more simple than doing eyes with colour. I don't know. I've got to give a shout out to my bud April Rosa. If you're not following her, you totally should be. She is so talented. But she did a Tim Burton mashup doll, and it is literally everything. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. She just does these wonderful details on all of her dolls. I'm a huge fan of her. Go check her out. I don't usually use that much paint in my repaints, but I found that I couldn't get enough vibrancy on her lips and in her eyebrows, so I did end up using a little bit of paint in that. Not something that I'd normally do, and I still didn't get as much vibrancy as I'd liked. I think I need to consider colour cancelling as well when I'm doing a doll that's so bright. Her hair got all kinds of tangled under this cloth, so I had to do a good brush out. My camera won't even pick up how vibrant that hair is. It's so red. I did her scars on her body as well. I was kind of toing and froing on this because a lot of them won't be visible, but I decided to do most of the ones that I could see. I'm doing them in the same way that I did them on her face. I tried doing them with just acrylic paint, but it didn't look as good, so I gave her some coats with Mr. Super Clear, and then I'm drawing in pencil. So first drawing in the lines of the cuts, then the dark shadow where the stitch will start and stop, then using grey to draw in that stitch line. and then on top I'm using white gouache to pick out that stitch. Finally, I highlight around the kind of stitch hole a little bit with white to pick it out a little bit more, and I'm deepening the stitch holes again. And here she is, all patchworked. To be able to get the Lolita silhouette, I need to make her a petticoat. I decided to use strips in different colours to make the petticoat. I've seen these before in actual Lolita outfits and I think they're adorable, but also Sally's got all those different colours, so I thought it would tie in nicely. Here it is. It was accidentally a little bit longer in the front, so that worked well because if she wears it backwards it gives her a better poof in the back. To make her socks, I drew black lines on the bias on some chiffon fabric. I'm using the bias because it'll have a little bit of stretch. And then I sewed the socks to her legs. And then added some pink bows which will tie into the rest of her outfit. Onto her dress, I'm making the usual standard cupcake shape of a Lolita dress, but I want to make it in kind of a patchwork that's similar to her actual dress. She has some striped, like purplish striped fabric in hers, and I don't have a stripy purple fabric, so I'm making one. I'm using some chiffon in hot pink and some burgundy. I changed the colour palette slightly because I didn't want the black, because my Jack doll's going to have so much black and white. I wanted an interesting contrast between the two dolls. I made a pattern for a Lolita dress and then split the skirt into these like 6 petal shapes, and I'm cutting one each out in different colours of fabric. I sewed those together and then I cut different colours of fabric out to make her bodice as well. I'm vaguely looking at her dress and trying to make it somewhat similar. I added some trim and I added the straps to the bodice and trimmed the bottom of the bodice and then sewed it to the skirt. I added closures to the back of the dress, I just used Velcro this time. Then I added bows around the bottom of the dress. I added a little yellow patch as well where Sally has one on her dress, and that's the dress done. I made this floofy bell-sleeved blouse for her as well. I had these shoes in my stash and thought that they would look quite like tea parties if I took this top straps off. So I cut away the top straps, then painted them a navy blue. I gave the soles a wash in black so that it would pick up that ridge detail. Then I dry brushed a lighter blue, basically the colour that the shoes already were, to pick out the details, and then kept going over again in a lighter and lighter blue. I painted the skulls white. The body of the shoe got varnished using a gloss decopatch varnish, but the skulls I varnished with matte. I wanted her to have a bag, and I thought making one that looked like Zero would be cute. So using white fabric, I made this titchy bag. I squared one of the corners, but not the other, so it would look more tail-like on one side. I'm just top stitching down the front flap here, just to make it look more like a bag. I cut a piece of organza in white to go over the top to make it look more ghosty, which I'm then just attaching around the mouth of the bag. Opening of the bag, mouth of a bag. Do bags have mouths? Let me know in the comments. Using polymer clay, I made Zero's head. Which I painted with acrylic paint. I did realise when I was making this that it might look like somebody skinned Zero and made them into a bag. Bad times. I attached a strap, and then I used ribbon and kind of folded it over and melted the ends to look a bit like Zero's ears. Then I used Fabri-Tac glue to glue the head on. I wasn't sure what to do about the closure, so I added a snap fastener, so this is a functional tiny little bag. I also made her some wrist cuffs and a head bow. And now it's time to put her together. So let me know what you think of her. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. This doll, as well as her partner, are going to be for sale. Check out my Instagram to be notified of that. I'll be having the giveaway for the yokai doll at the beginning of next year, so make sure that you're subscribed to my socials to be notified of that. Let me know what your plans are for spooky season, and let me know if you've got any scary movie recommendations, because I'm always looking for good scary movies. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.